Welcome to the Year 5 lesson for Part Unknown problems. In this lesson I'm learning to use multiplication and division, and in particular my 2's, 3's, 4's and 5 times tables, to solve Part Unknown problems. Let's imagine I've got 25 candles which are shared around a cake, and I want to work out how many candles are on 2/5 of the cake. Well, you can see I've recorded that here. So my denominator tells me I've got 5 pieces, or the cake is split into 5 pieces, so I can draw that down here. Remember, the easiest way to do that is to draw a rectangle and split that into 5 pieces. And my numerator tells me that I'm interested in 2 pieces. So I'm going to circle these 2 pieces here. Now remember, the aim of this lesson is to use multiplication and division to help me answer this, rather than addition like we did in the Year 4 lesson. So to start with, we need to share these 25 candles evenly around the 5 pieces of cake. So since I'm sharing, I'm going to be using division. So I can write 25 candles shared between 5 pieces of cake, and I know 25 divided by 5 equals 5, and I can check that. If I put 5 candles on every piece of my cake, I use up all 25 candles. So that's step 1. Now in step 2, I want to work out how many candles are on the 2 pieces. So since I'm interested in 2 pieces, I can see there are 2 groups with 5 candles on each piece. So 2 times 5 is 10. So the answer to 2/5 of 25 is 10. Let's try another question. This time I've got 18 candles which are shared around a cake, and I want to work out how many candles are on 2/3 of that cake. So my denominator says I need to cut my cake into 3 pieces. So here's my cake. Again, I'm just drawing a rectangle and splitting it into 3 pieces. And my numerator tells me I'm interested in 2 pieces. So I'm going to circle 2 pieces here. And remember, we're going to start off with division because I need to share these 18 candles around all the pieces of my cake, and there's 3 pieces. So 18 candles shared between 3 pieces means I need to put 6 candles on each piece, and I can check that. 6 plus another 6 is 12, plus another 6 is 18, so I've shared out all the candles. So that was step 1. Now in step 2, we want to work out how many candles there are on 2 pieces. So there's 2 pieces, 2 groups, and I got that from my numerator here. And on every one of those pieces, there are 6 candles. So I've got 2 groups of 6. And I know 2 groups of 6 is 12. So 2/3 of 18 must be 12. Let's try one last question. This time I've got 32 candles shared around a cake, and I want to work out how many candles must be on 3/4 of the cake. So my denominator tells me my cake is split into 4 pieces, so I draw my rectangle and split that into 4 pieces. My numerator tells me I'm interested in 3 pieces, so I'm just going to circle those 3 pieces here. So my first step is to share these 32 candles around all of my pieces of cake. So 32 shared between 4 pieces, and I know that 32 divided by 4 is 8, and I can double check that. If I write 8 in all of these, 8 plus another 8 is 16, plus another 8 is 24, plus another 8 is 32. So I've shared out all my counters. So we've done step 1. Now we're on to step 2. My numerator tells me I'm interested in 3 pieces. So 3 pieces, and on all of those pieces there are 8 candles. So I've got 3 groups of 8. Well, I know that 3 groups of 8 is 24. So 3/4 of 32 is 24. Let's have a think about the important things to remember in this lesson. Well, let's look at this one here. Our first step is to share all the counters. Well, our first step is to share all the candles around all the pieces of cake. And you can see I've done that in step 1 here. All of my candles shared between all of the pieces of cake. Now, my second step, I'm thinking about how many pieces of cake am I interested in. You can see here I'm interested in 2. And then, how many candles are on each of the pieces? And that gives me my answer of 12, which is the number of candles on 2/3 of the cake. You can find the activity sheet that goes with this lesson and the Teacher Tools Fractions, Decimals and Percentages book from the Whitebook collection.